Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, and welcome to another episode of AIME's Grow and Get It. I'm Tom Allis, president of Growth. I got Skylar Welch with me here, mortgage broker. Boy, she's got a lot of different titles, always showing up, leading by example. One of the reasons why I'm excited to have her here today, she's with Main Point Lending out of Maine, right?
Great state of Maine.
Yeah, that's it. So I know you kind of run the show in Maine. Anytime anyone asks me, hey, do you know anybody in Maine? You're always the person that we like to refer to as you do a great job. One of the things that you and I have shared in common is understanding that our own personal business on production um, really depends on what sphere you're putting yourself into.
Mhm.
Whether that's a sphere of, for me, I've mentioned it before, I'm into cycling, I'm into different things. I always try to create a network of people that is genuine. I'm not necessarily when I'm going
Right.
biking looking for a referral, but at the same time, I want those people to know that if they do need a mortgage, call Tom the broker, right? Same for
Exactly.
same for you. And one of the things you and I share is I'm still an active member in BNI.
Mhm.
So if you don't mind, tell me a little bit. What is BNI and how has it helped you in your business?
Absolutely. So BNI is a networking group, and that's really what it is. But the difference between, I mean, the thing is, I've been a part of a lot of networking groups. We have a lot of like think locals and this and that, and anyone can go at any time. There's no sense of loyalty. There's no sense of commitment. The difference with BNI is that there is very much a sense of commitment. You have to be there every single week. You have to stand up and say what you did that week. You're kind of held accountable for referrals to send. So what happens is over the months, over the years, you truly become each other's sales force, right? And a lot of people say to me, honestly, every week, people will say to me, why are you still doing BNI?
Yes.
But the funny part is I joined BNI before I even closed the deal. The first thing I did was join a BNI group because I knew that I needed people that were going to refer business to me. And I know that that's where my roots started, right? So I would walk into this room. And I remember when I first joined BNI, there were, I think there were like 8 other LOs trying to get the same seat because there's only one seat per profession.
Correct.
And the mortgage broker seat and the real estate agent seat are very sought after seats
Being
because
frenzy.
they're very beneficial. They're very profitable. So people want
Yep.
that seat. So when I was competing, I remember going in every day and I'm like, oh my gosh, these people have been in this industry for so long. Like, why would they ever? They're not going to choose me. Like, real life, I've never even closed a deal. Like, this is what I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah.
And but I went in every week and I was referring business. I was fully immersed in this because I'm like, the more you give, the more you get back. That's the mentality
Givers
of
gain.
BNI is givers gain.
Yep.
So I would walk in every week. And my first year in BNI, I sent 85 referrals and I was BNI member of the year for the state of Maine. But I didn't receive one referral that year. And I had a newborn baby. It was 40 minutes away and it was at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays. I mean, every Friday at 7 a.m. I'd have to find someone to watch my baby at 6 in the morning, like all these things. I'm like, this is a big commitment. Like, this is a lot. Like, should I really be doing this? But everyone said, stick with it. There was a mortgage broker before you that everyone had built a strong relationship with. When they left, it's going to take time to build that again. And I think that that's what people give up on a lot. This is a commitment, like, Bob.
It
Anything
is.
worth it is a commitment, right?
Yep.
So I was like, all right, I'll do one more, right? That year, I received 50 closed deals directly from my BNI.
Yes.
Within 2 years, I'd made, a couple $100,000 directly from my BNI group. That was in 2011. It's 2022. I've been president of my group for 7 years in a
Wow.
row.
Yes.
So um, the truth of it is that people ask me every day, like, why are you still doing this? Your business doesn't need this, right? And I'm like, it's not necessarily true because the minute I walk out of that room, the day
Yep.
I walk out of that room, I lose those relationships because they're going to want to start doing business with the next person that comes in that door and replaces me. And I
Right.
don't I don't want to give up that business. But at
No.
the same time, I know that I have a whole room of people that I can refer anyone to that are going to go above and beyond to take care of those clients. So it's not even just about growing my business, it's about helping my clients with everything in their life and becoming that referral source for them.
Great.
That's really important. I want to become that resource. I want people to call me and say, hey, do you have a plumber? Hey, do you have a financial advisor? And I know that I can refer to someone and they're going to take such great care of all of those clients.
Right. Not only do you get to refer them, you get to see them every week. And the
Exactly.
accountability factor is things that drive a lot of people away from it.
Mhm.
But to me, that's the part to where, I had a landscape designer. I had exactly like you said, a plumber. When I see somebody face to face weekly, I hate to say it, there's a big difference. They're not
Uh-huh.
going to let you down. On top
Mhm.
of that, you touched on another piece to where you really get good at giving your elevator pitch or your commercial,
Mhm.
right? You get to be able to say in 60 seconds or 45 seconds and less what you do, who you're looking for,
Mhm.
and you get to implore, 20 people, 40 people, however many is in your chapter to be salesmen for you. So when you look at the majority of the mortgage broker models, the majority of mortgage brokers in our business are small companies, right?
Mhm.
It's mom and pop shops, or maybe they have 4 or 5 LOs, but they're not necessarily the massive, tons of LO type of deal. It's small grassroots to where you're automatically. I can't afford to hire 20 people to market my business.
Exactly.
Well, you get to show up, give your commercial, and they leave that day. If you're good at giving commercials, and this is where I've even gotten better at it, you get better every week at
Mhm.
pulling things out of people's brain of like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. Um, and you're
Exactly.
getting basically 20 salesmen for
Right.
free.
And honestly, I remember the first few times, I'm like, I'm never coming back. I'm never doing this. This is terrible. I'm so nervous. Like, I feel like I could go in a room of 10,000 people and tell them what I do and not even know what I'm going to say before I get up there, right? Like, because I do this every single week for the last 11 years, right? Like, I could go and
Yes,
talk in front of anyone about what I do because I feel so confident in it because I do it all the time, right?
100%.
So I think that that's super, super important. But if I hire a new LO, the first thing I say to them is I try to get them into a BNI.
Yes,
It's
have
the
to.
very first thing I do. I actually have a new LO, and they just started a new online. It's an virtual one. I was like, you need to get into this group. So she's in it because she needs to grow her business, and this is the best place to start.
Yes.
I honestly don't think there are any other networking groups in the world that provide the same level of loyalty and just
Commitment. You're
growth.
in it. There's no excuses. If you don't show up and do the work,
Mhm.
you're kicked out. And like you mentioned, it's
Exactly.
fierce competition. I interviewed for the same way with the
Mhm.
one that I've been in now for. I think the one that I'm in currently, I've been in for 6 years, and it was a competition. I had every
Yeah.
other mortgage professional, from bank to retail, and I was thankful to win the position. On top of that, now I've had the same people say the same. Well, why do you still go to it? And I
Right.
always break it down, and there's ways to look at what your time's invested. But the best part about it too is they do tracking, right? If ever you're feeling like, oh my gosh, this feels kind of pointless, I'm having to
Right.
get up early, I'm having to do it, and then you just look, wow, my thank you for closed business with myself or any of my team members that's been a part of it always generates over 6 figures a year. It's a guaranteed winning
1,000%.
procedure
You know?
that's going to get you to grow your business, which is why I'm so thankful to have you on it. One of the biggest things that I'm hoping you can help me with, and that I've had the biggest problem with people, they say, well, it's full. I can't get in.
Mhm.
And of course it's full and you can't get in. If it was easy, everyone would do it. Tell
Exactly.
me what you would do for a brand new broker, just like the team member you have that wants to get into BNI. Where should they start?
So there are two things I would recommend. The first thing would be to reach out to the regional directors. So the regional directors, I have a great relationship with them, and I tell them if there's ever a seat that's opening up, let my company know, right? So they let me know, and I can immediately put someone in there, right? So I would recommend doing that first. Second off, I started a BNI group. The first group I was in for 6 years, and it just kind of got to the point where like some people had been in the group for 35 years. And I'm like this fresh puppy. I'm ready to freaking grind. I'm not here at 7 a.m. to like have coffee with my friends. Like I want to do business.
Yes.
So I ended up starting a group, which basically just meant I got a whole group of people, real estate agent, insurance, caterer, like all these people. And we just started working it. It's not easy starting a group, I'll tell you that. But I will tell you another thing. When you start a group and you have these core group of people, those core group of people are with you for life because you have grown this and grown each other's business for this entire time that they become so loyal to you
Yeah,
that
you go up on that reputation scale, and they start, like you
exactly.
said, they start looking at you for advice on other things. Even my financial advisor would ask me questions on things for I don't know, you just really become a person of trust. The one
Absolutely.
part that I want to tell you, hit some really good points on where to start. One of the things that I want to point out as well is not to give up. Most people will call and say, nope, it's full, or they've even tried starting it. It's easy to get a realtor. It's easy to get a chiropractor. It's easy
Insurance
to get
agent.
more positions. The
Yeah.
majority of them don't launch though until you get 20. Okay. So make it intentional, right? To me, I don't even know, even if you don't want to start your own group, schedule an hour a week. And I can guarantee you, if you spend an hour a week following up with the presidents of each chapter and finding out when the re-enlistment period is, or when the for that mortgage person, the average most mortgage people, like you said, some have been in there for so long, they're probably ready to go before too long. Know
Right.
where those are at. If you spend an hour a week dedicated to this, you not only will add six figures to your business, but you will become a better professional for many reasons. One, like you said, you get to learn so much. I learned from the plumber, the handyman, the doctor, the chiropractor, the dentist. I learned so much about their businesses, and uh, I become more referable because I know when I refer somebody, oh yeah, I just found out about this or this and this, and you're actually sharing their sales story to help them. And when you're helping them, they want to help you. So
And I think that so many people see it so one-sided, like, oh, well, there's just one realtor. Like, how much business can I really get from this one real estate agent? But the real estate agent isn't even my best referral source for
mine
the most
either.
part.
Mine either.
Like commercial lender, I crank with the commercial lender because so many people go to them for a residential loan. Like, I don't do residential loan, but here's my girl, right?
Yes.
Or even like a banker. Like, I get a lot of business from a banker because there's so many products that that bank doesn't do, so
100%.
then I'm that resource.
Yep.
Even that, all the people that see a person before they sell, like a landscaper or cleaners, things like that. They're great referral sources. Even a caterer, like they're doing the weddings. They're saying, "Oh, you're getting married? Like you buying a house? Call my girl." Like those are the things. Like people have to think like bigger minded than that because so many times like, well, it's just one real estate agent. Like how much is that really going to benefit me? You
Yeah.
have to think about all the other people that are going to be actively trying to get business from you and become your biggest fans, honestly.
Yep, spot on. Skylar, I can't thank you enough. You're a leader in our industry. I look up to you for how you still operate your business. You and I kind of operate the same. We're on the front
Yeah.
lines originating. You're growing a team. You're always putting in the work and putting the action in. So thank you so much. Really appreciate
I
you.
appreciate
For the
you for having
brokers
me.
that are here, spend the hour. Spend the hour and grow your business. This is a zero question return of investment. And especially if you go to compete and you need any feedback, reach out to Skylar or myself. We'd love to help you. So,
Absolutely.
yep. So, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of AIME's Grow and Get It. Every week, we're here Monday at 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 a.m. on the Pacific side. You'll see us in the Better Brokers or Better group where we broadcast this every week. And you can check us out on AIM National. Skylar, hope you have an amazing week. Thank you again. Look forward to seeing everyone at Fuse. By the way, if you haven't registered, please go and get your tickets. We're very excited to have a great event this year.
Thank you so much.